The Window in 1929 by Seiji Togo, a luminous anomaly in the history of Japanese modernist painting. The Window in 1929, painted by Seiji Togo, is a work that shines with singular brilliance in the history of Japanese modernist painting. Now housed in the SOMPO Museum of Art, it continues to captivate countless viewers with its serene and fantastical presence. True to its title, the painting uses the motif of a window within the pictorial space, crystallizing Togo's unique female imagery, dreamlike worldview, profound engagement with Western art, and distinctly Japanese sensibility. To fully appreciate the window, one must first understand the artistic trajectory of Seiji Togo (1897 to 1978). Born in Kagoshima, he traveled to Europe at a young age and studied in Paris. After arriving in France in 1921, he was exposed to cutting-edge artistic movements, particularly Cubism as practiced by Picasso and Georges Braque, as well as the elegant female portraits of Modigliani. The Symbolist tendencies and flourishing decorative arts prevalent in Paris at the time also significantly influenced his sensibilities. Upon returning to Japan, Togo participated in the so-called Shinko Bujutsu new art movement and engaged in avant-garde activities. However, by the late 1920s, he began transitioning toward a unique style emphasizing decorative and fantastical elements. The Window was created during this transitional phase, a time when Togo, freshly returned from Paris, was exploring a new artistic language and seeking to establish his own vision. At the center of the window stands a woman, quintessentially Togo, gazing quietly outward. Her porcelain-like skin exudes an otherworldly translucency, and her facial features embody both Eastern harmony and Western idealized beauty. This woman is not portrayed as an individual with a distinct personality, but rather as a symbolic embodiment of femininity itself, a representation of universal beauty. Her facial contours are soft, her hair flows in elegant curves, and her lips bear a hint of rouge. Togo's women are often described as possessing of cool beauty and porcelain-like texture, qualities that are vividly present in this work. Beyond the window stretches an abstract landscape, less a depiction of a real view and more a dreamlike vision. This ambiguity wraps the entire canvas in a sense of fantasy. Crucially, Togo does not treat the window merely as an opening to the outside, but as a symbolic passage that connects inner and outer worlds, dream and reality, this world and the beyond. Togo's refined sense of color is also manifest in the window. The overall palette is subdued, dominated by muted tones of blue, gray, beige, and white. Amidst this soft chromatic harmony, the woman's skin and garments are touched with delicate hues, naturally drawing the viewer's gaze. The background elements, walls, windows, furnishings, are not rendered in detail but are simplified and abstracted. This prevents any sense of visual clutter and emphasizes the presence of the woman. While influenced by the decorative spirit of Art Deco, this restrained elegance is one of Togo's distinguishing traits. Although the painting lacks a deep sense of spatial depth, its flat composition actually enhances its dreamlike, surreal atmosphere. The window behind the woman is rendered with a geometric structure softened by gentle lines, imbuing the composition with a quiet rhythm. Japan in the 1920s was an era when a modern urban culture blossomed. Cafes and dance halls lined the streets of Ginza and Asakusa, and youth known as Mobo and Imoga embraced Western culture. In the art world, movements such as Surrealism and Shinko Bujutsu introduced avant-garde expressions distinct from traditional realism. In this context, Togo's The Window stood out, not as an example of avant-garde radicalism nor conventional realism, but as a distinct poetic realism. The women he painted were at once modern and classically balanced, fantastical yet emotionally resonant. This ambivalent aesthetic lies at the heart of Togo's work. Togo also had a deep appreciation for poetry and music, and such sensitivity is reflected in the window. The woman's gaze seems to speak, yet never utters a word. This silent beauty stirs the viewer's imagination, enabling an intimate dialogue with the artwork. When discussing the window, one must not overlook the influence of Western art that Togo absorbed in Paris. Most notably, the impact of Modigliani is evident. The elongated neck, expressionless face, and tranquil posture in Togo's female figure resonate with Modigliani's style. Cubist influence is also discernible in the painting's structure, the geometric treatment of the background, the flattening of spatial depth, and the abstraction of decorative elements, all echo the artistic currents of contemporary Europe. However, Togo was not a mere imitator. By fusing Western modernism with Japanese lyricism, he created a unique poetic modernism. The window stands as a successful example of this synthesis and is therefore highly regarded in art history. As its title suggests, the window is a symbolic motif that connects inside and outside, and at the same time, it is a masterpiece that encapsulates the essence of Seiji Togo's artistic universe. The year of its creation, 1929, was also the year of the global economic crisis, a time when ominous currents were beginning to emerge in Japan as well. In such an era, the quiet beauty and dreamlike quality of the window could be seen as a form of solace or escape. Yet this was no mere escapism. Rather, it was a profound attempt to sustain the human spirit and sensitivity through the power of beauty. Togo believed that truth resided in beauty, and he chose the female figure in the motif of the window as means to give form to that belief. Today, housed in the SOMPO Museum of Art, the window continues to stir the viewer's imagination and whisper its quiet poetry. It remains not merely a modern painting, but a window that connects beauty, dream, and time.